think recording शुरू हो गई है. Recording, okay.
Yeah,
Hello.
I can see.
Okay, Miss Sweta Srivastava Khare. Good afternoon.
Mrs. Sweta Srivastava,
Mrs.
thank
Sweta
you.
Srivastava, how are you?
Good morning.
Good
I'm
morning.
good.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
Thank you for your time. Thanks for doing this with me. I know it's not
uh,
that shabby, but I think it will end up
mm,
becoming a good effort in getting to know
my
all my
pleasure
friends.
because it's a new experience for me. I think the first one. So
Absolutely.
looking forward.
Okay, sure. So, like we discussed, कोई format नहीं है, कोई set of questionnaire नहीं है. It's just random
Hmm.
conversation, and then
Hmm.
as was the first episode, it ended up becoming, or it ended up sounding like a very deep, thoughtful conversation.
Hmm.
That was not the intention though,
Informative.
and I'm sure
Hmm.
it will happen again. But anyway,
I'm not sure. मुझे कोई knowledge नहीं है और मुझे information की भी बहुत कमी रहती है. But I have thoughts, I have feelings that I can share.
thank you. That is what I'm looking for. So, Shweta, my first question to you, and I would not have asked this question to anyone else, as my first
Mm-hmm.
question is that if there was a time machine, or if you
Mm-hmm.
were given an opportunity to go back to a 16 or 18-year-old Shweta, what would you say, or what would you change about yourself, or would you not?
I would not change because when I was even 16 years or 18 years, तभी मैं सोच समझ के काम करती थी और नहीं भी सोच समझ के करती थी तो ठीक है मुझे ऐसा कोई रिग्रेट नहीं है सो
Oh,
आई थिंक आई नॉट चेंज एनीथिंग मैंने स्कूल में बहुत एंजॉय किया है कॉलेज में मैंने उतना एंजॉय नहीं किया है उतना अच्छा मेरा क्लास नहीं थी बहुत ही बोरिंग क्लास थी सो आई नॉट चेंज माई क्लासमेट्स ऑब्वियसली एंड आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन चेंजिंग माई सेल्फ
so your thinking has not changed, the way you think about yourself or life in general. It's been the same.
इट मतलब बहुत ज्यादा चेंज हुई है आज से 10 साल पहले कुछ और थी आज कुछ और है एंड आई एम 100% श्योर कि आज से 10 साल बाद कुछ और होगी क्योंकि तब मुझे कुछ और एक्सपीरियंस था अभी मुझे कुछ और एक्सपीरियंस है और आज से 10 साल बाद मुझे कुछ और एक्सपीरियंस होगा सो इट्स ऑल बेस्ड ऑन एक्सपीरियंस व्हाट आई हैव सीन अराउंड मी विथ मी एंड फॉर एग्जांपल आई टेल यू जब हम स्कूल में थे तो हमारे लिए बहुत बड़ी बात होती थी अरे यार किसी का अफेयर या कोई किसी को पसंद करता है तो सच अ बिग थिंग जब मैं कॉलेज में आई तो मुझे लगा ठीक है यार इट्स नॉर्मल और अब ऐसा लगता है कि इट्स गुड इन अ वे सो हम जनरलाइज नहीं कर सकते चीजों को तब हम ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट में देखते थे या बहुत जनरलाइज करते थे चीजों को अभी मुझे पता है वी कांट जनरलाइज हर किसी की जो सिचुएशन अलग होती है सोच अलग होती है इम्पैक्ट अलग होता है उनकी अपब्रिंगिंग कैसी हुई है उस पर डिपेंड करता है सो इट कीप्स ऑन चेंजिंग एंड इट विल चेंज टिल आई एम अलाइव मुझे नहीं लगता मेरे थॉट सेम रहने वाले हैं क्योंकि वो बहुत सारी चीजों पे डिपेंड करेंगे
So would you call yourself an idealist or liberal or conservative, or how would you define your thinking? I mean, it hasn't changed, but how would you say, like, okay, these are my principles, and that is how I think or how I perceive the world, and
there was a time when I used to think like that कि ये मेरे प्रिंसिपल हैं और I live my life based on that only. It's not the case now. अब मैंने बोला कि it depends कि मेरी क्या सिचुएशन है और उस पर डिपेंडेंट मेरी एक्शंस होंगे नॉट मेरे प्रिंसिपल्स पे या कुछ ऐसा जनरलाइज रूल है या कुछ मॉरल सेटअप किए गए हैं जिसपे बेस्ड so I'll not define my thinking in those terms it's liberal or it's like all other things it's nothing मतलब मैं उसको कैटेगराइज नहीं कर सकती और नहीं करना चाहती हूँ
So it's all about experiences for you, right? Like what
exactly and how does it go for you? Yeah.
Okay, that's good. For me, I think yeah, I have set of principles, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I would consider myself more liberal than conservative at times. but at the same time, I I I try to define things under the framework or in within the framework of set of principles that I like to follow. But again, with experiences, you become more wise and more wisdom comes, and then you go about your life.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No, ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि wisdom comes with yeah,
it's
not
all
age,
about
but like
experiences,
with
right? Yeah,
experience. Yeah,
yeah,
it comes with experience.
yeah.
Yeah,
If
but if
you're
you're willing to see ki what is going on around you,
Mhm,
and you have that ability to give it a thought,
mhm,
and you can think about it, then it may not be your only your own experiences, but
mhm,
हम कुछ सीखते हैं. But
mhm.
अगर हम वो सोचना ही नहीं चाहते हैं, बस यही हमारी दुनिया, इतना ही हम सोचते हैं, हम ना बाहर की चीजों को देखना चाहते हैं, ना उनके बारे में सोचना चाहते हैं, देन मे बी इट डजंट अप्लाई टू एवरीबॉडी.
Right, 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 right. Mm. So yeah, I mean it's about finding contentment, right? That is what my previous episode was all about, contentment, right?
अमित
Whatever
इज
makes you
अनश्योर
happy.
कंटेंट या
Yeah.
आई एम नॉट श्योर. मेरा ऐसा कोई वो नहीं है कि मतलब ये चीज से मुझे कंटेनमेंट मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा. मुझे ये पता रहता है कि कौन सी चीज से मैं खुश नहीं हूँ. इफ
Mm-hmm.
आई एम नॉट हैप्पी,
Mm-hmm.
आई विल ट्राई माई बेस्ट टू बी आउट ऑफ इट.
For example.
फॉर एग्जाम्पल हाँ, 11th 12th, आई थिंक 12th की बात है.
Mm-hmm.
जब आई टेल यू लाइक जब मुझे सबसे अच्छा कब लगा और मुझे
Mm-hmm.
फ्रीडम मे बी यू कैन से
Uh-huh.
कि क्या एक्सपीरियंस होता है वो.
Uh-huh.
तो आई थिंक वी ऑल वर इन 12th क्लास और सबने कोचिंग ज्वाइन की थी फॉर दिस पीईटी, है ना, प्रिपरेशन.
Yeah.
तो मैंने भी कर ली. मुझे लगा यार अच्छा है, चलो आई शुड ऑल्सो डू इट, मुझे भी कुछ करना चाहिए. और
Uh-huh.
मैं एक हफ्ता गई. एक हफ्ता जाने के बाद मुझे लगा नहीं, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा.
Uh-huh.
एंड मैं यहाँ बिलोंग नहीं करती.
Hmm.
तो आई वेंट टू खरे सर और मैंने उनको बोला कि सर मैं नहीं आ पाऊंगी कल से, मुझसे नहीं हो पा रहा. तो सर ने बोला कि तुम एक काम करो, कल पापा को लेके आना अपने. उन्हें लगा
Mm-hmm.
कि मैं उतनी बड़ी नहीं हूँ कि मैं अपने डिसीजन ले सकूँ, या मे बी आई एम नॉट मेकिंग द राइट डिसीजन.
For sure.
ही
Yeah.
वॉज
Mm-hmm.
राइट.
Yeah.
हाँ,
Yeah.
तो पेरेंट्स कैन गिव यू बेटर एडवाइस. तो
Absolutely.
अगले दिन फिर मैं पापा को लेके गई.
Mm-hmm.
तो मेरे पापा का हमेशा ऐसा रहा है कि वो मुझे सलाह देंगे बट डिसीजन लेना मेरे हाथ में है, तब से
Mm-hmm.
ही जब से मैं स्कूल में हूँ.
Mm-hmm.
तो उन्होंने पापा को भी कन्विंस करने की कोशिश की. पापा ने मुझसे बात की, दोनों ने मुझसे बात की. अल्टीमेटली मैंने बोला नहीं, मुझसे नहीं हो पाएगा और आई एम नॉट लाइकिंग इट, मतलब मुझे
Mm-hmm.
अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है.
Mm-hmm.
तो फिर ठीक है, फिर मैंने उस दिन कोचिंग छोड़ी.
Mm-hmm.
पापा ने बोला ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, मत करो, तुम्हें नहीं करना.
Mm-hmm.
और मतलब मुझे इतना अच्छा लगा, मैं बता नहीं सकती. वो फीलिंग मुझे आज तक याद है. इफ आई
Mm-hmm.
एम नॉट हैप्पी एनीवेयर,
Mm-hmm.
मैं फिर वहां से निकलने की कोशिश करती हूँ.
That's really good. I mean, your the ability to define your own choices. It's not everybody can do that. I mean, for most of us, I think I can speak for myself. Like I've always been under peer pressure, and that's not a good thing. But at the same time, I've always been competitive, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I
I
I
know.
want to win, and that's not good. Trust me, if I were to go back to that 16 or 18-year-old myself, I would say let's
Mhm.
just take it easy. You don't have to win
Yeah,
every battle. You don't have to win every war. You don't have to win anything. Just be yourself and enjoy what you're doing and learn, right? Just care about learning instead of care about showing to others that you are learning. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
I know. But then it only doesn't depends on सिर्फ हम पे डिपेंड नहीं करता, ये हमारे पेरेंट्स पे भी डिपेंड करता
Mm-hmm.
है, हमारे फ्रेंड्स पे भी डिपेंड करता है, हम कैसी कंपनी में हैं उस पे
Mm-hmm.
भी डिपेंड करता है. तो
Yeah.
मतलब अगर आपके पेरेंट्स आपको व्हाट शुड आई से, मैं पहले एक लाइन बोल देती हूँ कि हर पेरेंट अपने बच्चे के लिए अच्छा ही चाहता है.
For
सो आई
sure.
एम नॉट ट्राइंग
Absolutely.
टू say or in a negative way,
Yeah,
but
no, completely understand.
पेरेंट्स को बच्चों को कंपेयर करना, एंड
Mm-hmm.
देन जब वो बच्चों को कंपेयर करते हैं तो बच्चों को भी ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ मतलब ये अगर हम फर्स्ट आए तभी हम
वैल्यू है.
दूसरे से अच्छे हैं. एग्जैक्टली.
And that's
तो
not good. Yeah, for sure.
दैट्स नॉट गुड, दैट्स नॉट
हाँ.
गुड. मतलब मेरी थोड़ी पेरेंटिंग अलग थी, एंड आई एम रियली वेरी प्राउड एंड आई गिव इट टू माय पेरेंट्स कि मेरे पापा का ऐसा था कि तुम पढ़ो, पूरे साल पढ़ो, 1 घंटा पढ़ो, और भले तुम फर्स्ट मत आओ. मतलब मैं 12th में मेरे इतने गंदे मार्क्स आए थे कि मैं रो रही थी. 70% के बस पास में. और मेरे पापा मिठाई लेके आए. पापा ने बोला कोई बात नहीं, तुमने मेहनत की, नहीं आए, बाकी बच्चे तो फेल हो जाते हैं, so you should be happy about it.
And it
You should
doesn't
not
prove
feel
anything,
bad.
right? Like what does it prove that okay,
Exactly.
90%, okay, so what? क्या करें भाई, पेपर में फोटो आ जाएगा और क्या होगा.
मैं तो कुलदीप को बता रही थी कि अभिषेक तो रतलाम में फर्स्ट आएगा.
So क्या? So what? Like what was his reaction? So मैं क्या करूं भाई, पतंग उड़ाऊं क्या?
नहीं नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. उसके भी ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर तुम फर्स्ट आ रहे हो इसका मतलब है कि तुम में कुछ है ही नहीं. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. ठीक है, कॉम्पिटिटिव होते थे क्योंकि उसके बहुत सारे रीजंस हैं.
For sure,
बट
but I would say I was competitive not because I was forced to be, just because it's my nature. I mean, I have come to terms with those facts, but the thing I'm glad about is that मैं जैसा भी था, my friends didn't leave me. My company was really great, and they accepted me the way I was. I mean, I hope they did. So, uh,
ऑफ
and
कोर्स. एंड इफ
and
मतलब वही है यार, फ्रेंड्स. इट्स ऑल अबाउट कि यू
and
नो,
your I think your
अगर तुम्हें कोई
company.
अच्छी अच्छी बातें बोल रहा है, हाँ, कोई अच्छी अच्छी बातें बोल रहा है हमेशा, तो इसका मतलब है कि वो तुम्हारा सच्चा अच्छा फ्रेंड नहीं है.
नहीं,
This is what
that's.
I feel. If you're not right, then
Mhm,
somebody should tell you that you are not right. If
mhm,
that person is really a friend of yours.
mhm. Yeah.
तो मुझे पता है कि तुम्हें भी लोगों ने बोला होगा कि ठीक है, अभिषेक, तो ठीक है यार, इतना ज्यादा क्या है, फर्स्ट आ गया, अभी क्या है.
I mean, nothing changed for me. I mean, I was the same, and so were my friends, and that's what
हम्म.
I'm glad about. That's the only good thing I learned, that you're from school life or from college life for that
हम्म.
matter, that कि आपकी
हम्म.
company will have more impact than your own ability or your own skills or your own worth. Your company plays a great role in your upbringing. I mean, your parents, your obviously the way you're taught things, that will play a role.
Right.
Your company will play a vital role. I think that
Right.
has been the case with me. So
हम्म.
yeah, I mean that's a great thing.
राइट. और और
So
यार
do
मैं,
yeah,
हाँ,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
बोलो बोलो बोलो.
So do you have any regrets के यार एक आध चीज ऐसी होती तो I would have been different, या you would have done something differently? For me, there are a lot of things.
आई डोंट थिंक सो. और जो चीजें हैं जो मुझे लगता है कि कुछ और होती तो शायद चीजें डिफरेंट होती, वो मेरे हाथ में नहीं है. तो
Hmm.
जो मेरे हाथ में नहीं है उसको मैं चेंज कर ही नहीं सकती. और जो मैं चेंज नहीं कर सकती तो फिर मैं उसके लिए बुरा क्यों, मतलब मैं उस पर टाइम क्यों वेस्ट करूँ कि यार ये चीज अगर मैं ऐसी होती तो मैं ये हो जाती, या मैं ये कर लेती, आज मैं ये होती, वो होती, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. बट ठीक है, अभी मैं जहाँ हूँ, आई एम गुड.
No regrets, right? Yeah.
और
Mm.
रिग्रेट्स है भी तो, इफ आई कांट फिक्स देम,
Mhm,
इफ दे आर इन पास्ट, देन ठीक है, वो मैं उन्हें भूल नहीं सकती क्योंकि वो दे आर इंटीग्रल पार्ट.
mhm,
एंड बिकॉज ऑफ देम आई एम व्हाट आई एम.
mhm,
और आज जो मुझे रिग्रेट्स होंगे, आज मैं गलतियां करूंगी, उससे दैट विल डिफाइन माई फ्यूचर.
mhm.
सो जो
And we should be
चीजें,
allowed to make mistakes, right? I mean, there should be regrets. Otherwise, you haven't tried
राइट,
anything, right? Yeah.
राइट. और
Mhm,
फिर वो बोलते हैं ना कि मतलब अगर आपकी जिंदगी में हमेशा सब अच्छा अच्छा चलेगा तो फिर आपको वो अच्छे की वैल्यू नहीं पता रहेगी. So
mm,
if you want to
true.
know the value of अच्छा और what actually is the difference between अच्छा and बुरा, तो
Mhm,
दोनों चीजें होनी चाहिए लाइफ में. और ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं है, ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं है जिसकी लाइफ में सब कुछ हमेशा अच्छा चलता हो या हमेशा बुरा चलता हो.
mm,
सबकी लाइफ में मिक्स्ड रहता है. किसी की लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, किसी की लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. तो
mm.
फाइन. तो
So
तुम्हारे इतने सारे रिग्रेट्स, मतलब जो तुम would you like to change it, or
Absolutely.
would
Yeah,
you?
absolutely.
No,
A lot of
you would
things.
like to change it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I've been, I'll be honest that I should
Uh,
have done things slightly differently, which I did. Yeah.
yeah, but then you said that you'll be honest.
Hmm.
Do you mean that I'm not being honest?
No, no. I,
Okay.
I mean,
Good.
you said that you're fine with everything that has happened, but I'm, I see
You're
from
not
the
fine.
other perspective. I'm not fine with the things that happen, the way I perceive things, and then the way I always, up until
Mm-hmm.
very recently, I always viewed myself from someone else's perspective, or how I project myself in front of people, right? That I was more
Mm-hmm.
concerned and conscious about that. And then as you grow older and you realize, okay, that didn't help me, or it's not going to help me. So yeah, I
No,
mean,
so you
I
were,
wanted, I wanted to be known as like, okay, he is a great kid, but how, again, what, kya farak pad gaya, like you you should have been yourself. And at times, due to various reasons, I pretended, which which is not a great thing, but I mean you learn, right? Like you said, experiences, you grow
mm,
from the experiences, and accept the shortcomings, accept the facts, and change yourself and move on, maybe. So yeah, I would
moving
change a
on.
lot of things about me, but again, the only thing I'll not change is my company, the people I grew up around with, the town I grew up in, the
Mm,
town I mean the places I've been. It's that was amazing part of my life. Not everybody is that lucky, to be honest. So
yeah, we all are lucky. I mean, we actually are lucky कि हमारे जो school friends
it's been 20
तब
years.
से
Yeah,
it's
since
been
I know
long
you
time.
guys. Yeah,
Yeah, and me, Madhu, Neha, Shubhi, Amit Vyas. हम
yeah,
लोग
for sure.
और Aditya
Nikhil,
Jhalani also.
Nikhil.
Nikhil was coming and going, having, and also निखिल
He'll
का
be
थोड़ा
listening
सा
to this, by the way.
आज उसके पापा
one
बैंक
of
में
one
थे
of
ना
the
तो वो
few
कभी कभी चला जाता था 1-2 साल के लिए बट हाँ हम लोग
guest
all
appearance.
12 years we were together, yeah,
Mm.
and not guest
You
appearance,
still know, so how old are you guys? What, maybe 4 since you know each other, right?
5, yeah,
5, so it's,
since 5,
wow, that's been what, 30, almost 29 years. That's amazing. Like, still,
exactly.
you know, not, you're not surrounded by them, but you still have a connection with the people that you grew up with. It's very rare. Let me tell you the truth.
It's
It's
and that's the best connection, I'll tell you, like
mm,
these are the people जिनके पास मतलब मैं कभी भी दुखी होती हूँ या कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, कुछ नहीं तो किसी से 2 मिनट बात करनी है तो
mhm.
कॉल दीज
That's your comfort
पीपल.
zone, right?
एग्जैक्टली
Yeah,
तो
yeah.
स्कूल फ्रेंड्स मैंने देखा है जनरली लोग इतना ज्यादा मतलब टच छूटता जाता है क्योंकि आपकी कंपनी चेंज होती जाती है
Mhm,
स्कूल से कॉलेज फिर
mhm.
ऑफिस ये वो बट या टच वुड की हम लोग हमेशा टच में है तब से और मतलब
That's
हम
rare, yeah.
कॉलेज में भी थे तो या कभी भी रतलाम जैसे ही जाते थे तुम लोग भी तब तो खैर कॉलेज से जब भी हम लोग जाते थे तो मम्मी पापा से मिलने के बाद सबसे पहला काम होता था फोन लगाओ.
क्या चल रहा
सबको फोन लगाओ और
है?
क्या चल रहा है और सबसे पहले मिलने की जगह डिसाइड करो कहाँ मिलना है या
Yeah, and
मोस्टली निखिल के घर या मेरे
uh,
या हाँ ये आई थिंक ज्यादातर हम यही मिलते थे तुम लोग का घर बहुत दूर था.
and that's amazing, right? कि जो, I mean, I'm not exactly the same person today as I was in 2000s, early 2000s, but most of us will still have that image, right? अगर if we project everyone like जो 2002, 3, 4 में था, वो आज भी वैसे ही है, फोन करके बात करो वैसी बातें करेगा, सेम बातें करेगा. So
हम्म.
it's really great. I mean, not
नहीं यार बातें चेंज होती हैं
but
मतलब
the
पहले
way
स्कूल की
we
बातें फिर
think,
कॉलेज.
yeah.
हाँ.
Mm.
अब ऐसा है कि हम लोग घर गृहस्थी की बातें भी करते हैं.
Yeah, I mean that's part of our lives. Yeah, why not? Yeah,
एग्जैक्टली
yeah.
तो इट्स नाइस मतलब मेरा मेजर टच स्कूल फ्रेंड से ही है कॉलेज फ्रेंड
Mm.
से भी है बट बहुत सिलेक्टिव, मैं कॉलेज में बहुत सिलेक्टिव थी विद माय फ्रेंड्स, एंड मे बी बिकॉज हम लोग तब भी इतना ज्यादा इंटरेक्ट करते थे, तब भी इतना ज्यादा मतलब टच में थे कि हमें कभी दूसरे फ्रेंड्स ऐसा लगा नहीं कि हाँ हमारे और भी दूसरे फ्रेंड्स होने चाहिए या एक हमारा बड़ा ग्रुप होना चाहिए या कुछ भी ऐसा, मुझे तो नहीं लगा। तो
Yeah,
नाइस, वेरी नाइस।
that's good. So how is life different now? If it is any different than those times.
somebody asked me कि मतलब ऐसे तो बहुत सारी चीजें बदलती है ऑब्वियसली, तब हमें कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं होती, साल में एक बार पास होना है, ढंग के मार्क्स ले आने हैं, बस इतना ही हमारा मोटिव होता था। और
Short-term
मुझे तो
goals.
थोड़े से शॉर्ट टर्म गोल्स, और बस लीगल मतलब बहुत सारे लीगल बंक मारते थे, मैं तो बहुत मारती थी कि डांस प्रैक्टिस के लिए जाना है, अब इसके प्रैक्टिस के लिए जाना है, अब उसकी प्रैक्टिस के लिए जाना है, तो बस इतने ही गोल्स होते थे। और एक्चुअली हम लोग सब लोग शायद ऐसे ही हैं कि हम लोगों ने बहुत ज्यादा चीजें हमें पता नहीं थी, तो जब हमें बहुत ज्यादा चीजों के बारे में अवेयरनेस नहीं था तो हमारे गोल्स भी वैसे ही होते थे। फिर 12th कर लेंगे, फिर ठीक है हम इंजीनियरिंग कर लेंगे या डॉक्टर बन जाएंगे अगर बन सके तो, विच वॉज वेरी डिफिकल्ट। और
Yeah.
और बस उसके बाद फिर क्या शादी वादी कर ली एंड हो गया। बट हाँ, शादी के बाद योर लाइफ चेंजेस क्योंकि रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आ जाती हैं, फिर आप फ्रेंड से मिलना भी चाहो तो थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है कि सब लोग एक टाइम पे फ्री हो। बट लकीली शादी के बाद भी मेरी लाइफ में बहुत ज्यादा चेंज नहीं आया, मैं अभी भी अपने डिसीजंस खुद लेती हूँ, बिकॉज आई गॉट अ जेम ऑफ अ पर्सन। अगर कोई और होता तो शायद ऐसा ना होता। तो नथिंग मोर, मतलब मैं प्रोफेशनल पर्सनल सारे डिसीजंस मैं लेती हूँ, और मुझे FIR करना होता है या ज्यादा से ज्यादा डिस्कशन करना होता है, बट कोई रिस्ट्रिक्शंस नहीं है मुझ पे कि नहीं नहीं नाउ जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर मैरिड तो ऐसे ही लाइफ चलनी चाहिए।
Right. So you briefly touched upon, like, we didn't go beyond our scope of imagination of being an engineer, doctor, or someone like that, right? For professional being, maybe because we wanted to be in
I'll give
comfort
it.
zone. Yeah. I mean, we were never exposed to any other thought, right? Okay, just try something else. If engineering is not
Exactly.
for you, try something else, right?
I didn't have that awareness, to be very frank, and I don't think any of us had, क्योंकि बड़ी सिटीज में फिर भी शायद लोगों को थोड़ी अवेयरनेस होती है और अपॉर्चुनिटीज होती है, अपॉर्चुनिटी भी एक चीज है। तो हमारे यहाँ वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी नहीं थी, और जिस टाइम पे हम लोग स्कूल में थे उस टाइम पे स्पेशली छोटी सिटीज में लोग बाकी चीजों को एज करियर ऑप्शन नहीं देखते थे। तो अगर आप में बाकी कैपेबिलिटीज हैं भी, या आप अच्छे म्यूजिक में अच्छे हो, या किसी और चीज में अच्छे हो, एक्टिंग में अच्छे हो, या आर्ट में अच्छे हो, बट उसको हम एज करियर ऑप्शंस नहीं देखते थे। दिस वाज जस्ट हमारी हॉबी, या फिर हाँ हम पढ़ाई के अलावा कुछ और एक अच्छी चीज कर लेते हैं। तो जो चीज आपका करियर नहीं बन सकती थी उस पे हम इतना ज्यादा एग्जैक्टली वी डिडंट फोकस। एंड उस टाइम पे वो सही भी था, उस टाइम पे आपको दूसरे करियर ऑप्शंस के बारे में सोचना वाज लाइक कि हम पता नहीं इसमें 10,000 रुपए भी बना पाएंगे या नहीं बना पाएंगे, और इंडिया में रह के आपको पैसे अपने लिए खुद ही बनाने हैं।
I mean,
यहाँ पे
anywhere.
कोई सोशल सिक्योरिटी नहीं है। हाँ, बट एटलीस्ट बाकी जगह सोशल सिक्योरिटी है, यहाँ पे वैसा कुछ नहीं है। और हमारे पेरेंट्स भी ऐसे कोई बहुत हाई फाई रिच नहीं थे कि हाँ हम जो चाहे कर सकते हैं, हमारे पास बैकअप है। एटलीस्ट जितने मैं जानती हूँ उसमें से तो इतना कोई भी नहीं है। तो हमें अपने लिए एक स्टेबल ऑप्शन चाहिए था, तो जितनी हमारी अवेयरनेस थी उसके हिसाब से हमने एक स्टेबल ऑप्शन चूज कर लिया जो हम कर सकते थे।
Yeah. So now, do you think you have a choice to try something else, or would you, or you're good where you are?
मुझे नहीं लगता मैं किसी और चीज में इतनी अच्छी हूँ कि मैं उसे एज करियर ऑप्शन बना सकूं, बट लोग हैं और उनको बनाना चाहिए। देयर वाज वन पर्सन इन माय कॉलेज जो पढ़ने में भी अच्छी थी और आई थिंक शी वाज वेरी गुड इन दिस डिजाइनिंग एंड आल्सो शी जॉइंड दिस अहमदाबाद का कौन सा कॉलेज है डिजाइनिंग का कोई बहुत अच्छा कॉलेज है वहाँ पे तो वो लोग
फैशन डिजाइनिंग
नॉट फैशन डिजाइनिंग इट्स समथिंग एल्स मुझे याद नहीं है तो उसने वो ज्वाइन किया और अभी वो बहुत अच्छी जगह है बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वो लोग मे बी सिटी थोड़ी बड़ी थी भोपाल तो उन लोगों को थोड़ा ज्यादा अवेयरनेस था कि और क्या कर सकते हैं या उसका इंटरेस्ट भी होगा मेरा ऐसा मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी चीज में मैं करिकुलर्स में अच्छी थी बट मे बी जस्ट बिकॉज हमारे 10-15 लोग थे तो उसमें अच्छा होना इज नॉट अ बिग डील या हमने उसे कभी ग्रूम नहीं किया अपनी अगर कैपेबिलिटीज थी भी तो कभी उन पे इतना फोकस नहीं किया ग्रूम नहीं किया और या आई थिंक सो अब वैसे ऐसा कुछ नहीं है आजकल तो लोग बहुत छोटी छोटी हॉबीज को भी इतना अच्छा डेवलप करते हैं एंड अभी सब चीज की मार्केट वैल्यू है आप उसे भी सेल कर सकते हो एंड यू कैन अर्न फ्रॉम योर हॉबी तब हमें नहीं पता था
so I'm monetary satisfaction is important, right? Or monetary value of doing something is also important, right? I mean, sure, you have habits, you have talent, but at the end of the day, you want to bring food to the table, right? So
एग्जैक्टली दैट इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट मतलब आप में दुनिया जमाने का टैलेंट है और आप उससे कुछ कमा नहीं पा रहे हो और आपकी फैमिली खुश नहीं है और ये सब तो किताबी बातें हैं कि आप मतलब पैसों से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता फ्रैंकली इतने पैसे होने चाहिए कि आप
ये वही लोग बोलते हैं जिनके पास है पैसा
हाँ हो सकता है
राइट
तो इतने होने चाहिए कि आप सस्टेन कर सको अगर आप उतना कर पा रहे हो तो उसके बाद फिर जो करना है करो बट अगर आप एकदम ही वैसा सोच लोगे कि नहीं यार मुझे तो बस यही करना है अब इससे पैसे आ रहे हैं नहीं आ रहे हैं मुझे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता तो यू माइट बी हैप्पी बट योर फैमिली माइट नॉट बी हैप्पी एंड दोज हु आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन यू हो सकता है कोई डिपेंडेंट ना हो उस केस में फिर एक बार जल जाता है बट इफ यू हैव पीपल जो आप पे डिपेंडेंट हैं तो यू हैव टू डू समथिंग
and family is very important, right? I mean, if your own people don't love you, then don't expect anyone else to love you, right?
एग्जैक्टली एंड दोज अगर आप एक्सपेक्ट तो छोड़ दो अगर वो आपके साथ हैं भी तो जब आपको जरूरत है तो वो होंगे कि नहीं यू डोंट नो यू नेवर नो योर फैमिली विल ऑलवेज बी देयर
for sure yeah absolutely yeah
and your good friends
yeah I was just reading this quote somewhere okay the way you live your life will define the way you die. At first I didn't think of it much, but then like I gave it a thought, and then how you live will define how your end days will be, right? I mean, if you're happy throughout your life, then there is a good chance that when you died, you will have some sort of satisfaction, and then but you have always been cribbing about your life, and okay, life में ये नहीं है वो नहीं है, अरे मैं ये करता तो अच्छा था वो करता तो then your end will also suffer. So I think you should try and find happiness within what you do, and at the same time try to do something that makes you happy. So strike a balance.
एग्जैक्टली मतलब मेरा तो लाइफ मैंने बताया कि फंडा है कि अगर मैं खुश नहीं हूँ तो फिर मैं उस जगह नहीं रह सकती कुछ भी हो वो
So you value your happiness and satisfaction more than any other thing, right?
Exactly, but I can't define it. But yeah, that's a feeling. So I should feel free.
Right.
That's my top most priority.
So freedom is important for you, right? I mean, if you are
very important.
Yeah. Freedom to think and of choice and doing things, right?
Yeah. Tell me one thing then. What kind of people set you off? I mean, there are maybe we cannot define people, or but होते हैं कुछ characteristics होते हैं लोगों में.
I can't be diplomatic. Like I cannot suck up to anything. Like anything on my mind and heart is on my face. It's with my words. Like I don't know. I sometimes it really ends up resulting in regrets, like you said. But yeah, I just cannot, and I don't get along with those who cannot speak their mind or who are pretentious. Like, I cannot pretend. That's my problem.
Same goes with me, but it's very good. first of all, if you are straightforward, then it's good for you. Because वो अंदर ही अंदर हम कुड़ते नहीं रहते हैं. आप जो मन में था वो बोल दिया, सामने वाले के ऊपर है कि वो उसे कैसे लेता है. और दूसरे के लिए भी अच्छा है. मे बी दे विल नॉट थिंक इट इन दैट वे, बट इट्स गुड. Last time when I was in this project, जिसमें मैं I was working for like 6-7 years. और एक मीटिंग थी एंड मैंने बहुत बार फीडबैक दिया मेरे मैनेजर्स ने एंड ऑल. आई नॉट गोइंग टू डिटेल्स, बट दे डिडंट टेक इट सीरियसली बिकॉज चलो जो भी है. तो आई केम आउट एक मीटिंग में, मैंने एक पॉइंट रेज किया एंड व्हेन आई केम आउट पीपल वर आस्किंग मी कि तुमने पेपर डाल दिए क्या? मैंने बोला कि नहीं, मैंने तो पेपर नहीं डाला. बोलते अच्छा, मतलब क्योंकि
पेपर डालना
अगर आप
मींस लाइक
कोई
यू हैव
मतलब तुमने ऐसा कोई
रेजिग्नेशन.
फीडबैक रेजिग्नेशन या
Okay.
मतलब ऐसा अगर कोई फीडबैक मैनेजर को 10 लोगों के सामने दे दिया है जो लोग देने की हिम्मत भी नहीं रखते, सो दे फील लाइक कि आप वो तभी कर सकते हो जब आप पेपर डाल दो या एज इन रेजिग्नेशन डाल दो. सो दीज काइंड ऑफ पीपल एग्जिस्ट जो दिन भर गालियां देते रहेंगे, पीछे देते रहेंगे, बट सामने वो कुछ नहीं बोल सकते. सामने इतने अच्छे रहेंगे कि दे आर द बेस्ट पीपल.
Yeah, so yeah, people say, right, like if you don't like something, then do something about it, change something. And if you don't want to change, then start liking that thing. So don't you know what? So yeah, and that
Right.
takes, yeah, I think that it takes a lot of courage to stand up for yourself, and you can only do that when you're confident about yourself and when you know what you want, right? And
No, my manager used to tease me that you are very possessive about your team. और तुम अपना टीम का बहुत सोचती हो और ये वो. तो ऐसा होता है, फिर लोग आपको अलग तरह से परसीव करते हैं. बट इफ एंड यू हैव टू टेक द रिस्क. मतलब उससे मुझे बहुत नुकसान हुआ फ्रैंकली, बट देन ठीक है.
at the end
I
of the
felt
day,
good.
it made you happy, right?
Yeah, I felt good.
That you stood up for yourself, and then
exactly.
yeah, I think that's very important. You should not let others define you. You should let yourself define you, like who you are, right? I
But
right.
then you should first you should decide that you want to take that risk or not. I was ready to take that risk. Not everybody is ready to take that risk.
And you took that risk because you were confident, right? And you wanted or you knew what you wanted, right? Rather.
No, it was not about me, but I knew what was going wrong. And I thought I should tell him if nobody is telling him.
Yeah, so why I'm trying to get to the point, like why you made that choice and nobody else did. I'm trying to know that reason. So tell me, why do you think it was only you who made that choice and not your other team members? You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. They don't want to take that risk now.
Why?
See, it will have repercussions.
Yes.
You'll not get promotion. You'll not get good appraisal. So if we consider just the office thing, then these are the things. इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं हो सकता. और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अगर कुछ बहुत ही अजीब सी कंपनी हो जहाँ पे जॉब से निकाल भी सकते हैं, तो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा वो हो सकता है. लोग नहीं लेना चाहते और नहीं ले सकते. सब लोग नहीं भी ले सकते वो रिस्क.
But you were able to do that, right? Why? Just reflect upon it. Just think about it.
Yeah, that's because that's my nature.
That's what I'm getting at. That this is what defines you, right? Like you define yourself that, okay, that's my nature, and I'm not going to suck up to somebody or to something that doesn't make you happy or that doesn't bring self-respect to yourself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's really important. Right? You should define your happiness. You should define the way you're gonna live your life, not the other way around. Okay, my circumstances will define how I'm gonna live, right? I'll give you an example that for quite some time, all our lives have been a race towards weekend, right? We all wake up on Monday because we know there'll be a Friday. There'll be like that feeling of getting away for a short while, That
Hmm.
should that make you happy? I don't know, but that does make some people happy. And then again, half of our Sunday goes into cribbing about, oh, there's Monday tomorrow, right? So
Hmm.
that is, our circumstances have defined, okay, we should feel happy because there is a Friday coming, and then we
Yeah.
should not feel happy because there is a Monday coming on Sunday. So I just want to
Ah.
break that cycle. I want to, I want to feel as happy on Sunday as I'll feel on Friday, or as I want to
Hmm.
feel happy on Monday as I'll feel on Friday. So
Hmm.
there is something in our lives which we look forward to, right? And something different, right? Or because
Hmm.
again, it goes back to the same saying, right? Okay, the way you live will define the way you die, right? So
Yeah.
if you have lived your life just worrying about the weekend and then end to that weekend, then it's, I don't know, it's shameful.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, it gives a question for Nikhil. When Nikhil was in Bank of America, he used to say कि he look forward to Monday. इतनी
Monday.
अच्छी उसकी कंपनी है या इतना अच्छा उसका काम है जो भी है. I don't know what was it.
Hmm.
Maybe you can go in details with him.
Hmm.
But that's what he told us. So I'm also interested to know कि वो उसको क्या motivation था.
Sure, I mean, for sure, that's for him. I'll say for
Yeah.
that podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. Most of
So,
us, it goes like that only. We wait for Fridays and end of the month. These are the two
mhm.
important things that happens, like the weekend or salary credit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's necessity, right? Bare necessities of life. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's no different for anyone else. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So how do you want to reflect upon your not aspirations? I don't want to use the word aspiration, but I'll use it, aspirations for future. Like where how how do you want to see your surroundings few years, a decade from now, and then where do you see yourself in that?
You know, one thing that hurts me a lot is this एक तो सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो लोगों
Mm-hmm.
में नहीं होती
Mm-hmm.
और एक आई डोंट नो दैट सेल्फिशनेस आई शुड से
Mm-hmm.
मतलब हम इतने ज्यादा सेल्फिश होते हैं कि जब हम पे कुछ आता है तो मे बी आई एम ऑल्सो वन ऑफ दैट आई डोंट नो जब सर्कमस्टांसेस आते हैं तब पता चलता है तो हम दूसरों का नहीं सोचते या जिस चीजों पे हम ज्ञान देते हैं पूरी दुनिया को
Mm-hmm.
वो हम तब फॉलो नहीं करते जब वो हमारे ऊपर आता है
Hmm.
और फिर ये तो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी बातें हैं छोटी छोटी चीजों में मैंने लोगों को देखा है कि वो इतने सेल्फिश होते हैं उन्हें पता नहीं किस बात की जल्दी होती है मतलब एयरपोर्ट पे अगर आप लाइन में लगे रहो सिक्योरिटी चेक के लिए तो अगर किसी के पास एक ही बैगेज है तो वो बोलेगा कि मुझे पहले जाने दो क्योंकि मेरे पास एक ही है
Mm-hmm.
और या मुझे लाइन में नहीं लगना देयर वाज
Mm-hmm.
दिस हम लोग आई थिंक दिवाली की बात है शायद वी वर ट्रैवलिंग फ्रॉम नॉट दिवाली हम ऐसी जनवरी की बात है हम राजस्थान घूमने गए थे तो हम वापस आ रहे थे तो एक हमारी एज की एक लेडी होगी और उसकी मॉम थी साथ में तो वो लाइन में लगे हुए थे बोर्ड करने के लिए तो उसकी मम्मी उसको बोलती कि यार आगे निकलो 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 मतलब उसको परेशान कर दिया था एकदम कि हम लाइन में नहीं लगेंगे हम सीधे घुसेंगे अंदर और हम पहले बोर्ड करेंगे आई डोंट नो किस बात की जल्दी थी आंटी को उसने बोला आपको जाना है तो जाओ मैं लाइन से ही आऊंगी उसकी
Uh-huh.
मम्मी चली गई और वो लाइन में थी और लाइन से उसने फ्लाइट बोर्ड की
Uh-huh.
तो ये बहुत छोटी छोटी सी चीजें हैं
Mm-hmm.
लेकिन
So
जिनसे
that
कोई
was the difference
इम्पैक्ट भी
between,
नहीं है
yeah, yeah,
हाँ
yeah.
तो लोग अब सीख रहे हैं लोग कर रहे हैं और बट स्टिल जो चीजें हम आसपास देखते हैं और बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि हम अच्छा करना चाहते हैं पर फॉर एग्जांपल हम सिग्नल पे खड़े होते हैं और सारे लोग निकल रहे हैं और हम अकेले खड़े हुए सिग्नल पे कुलदीप करते हैं ऐसा भले जब तक लाइट ग्रीन नहीं होगी वो खड़े रहेंगे बाकी सब निकल रहे हो आसपास से विच
Mm-hmm.
इज गुड तो
So that
फिर हम
you
सोचते हैं
see.
यार हम ही एक बेवकूफ क्यों खड़े हैं यहाँ पे
Mm-hmm.
और हम भी क्यों नहीं निकल जाते हैं जब सब निकल ही रहे हैं कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं हो रहा कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा तो फिर हम क्यों फॉलो करें चीजें बहुत बार लोग इसमें भी कर लेते हैं बट देन आई फील कि थोड़ा सा सोसाइटी के लिए और दूसरे लोगों के लिए थोड़ा सा अगर हम कम सेल्फिश होके सोचें और
So we,
ज्यादा मतलब लोगों के बारे में सोचा दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू सी एज अ चेंज
mm-hmm.
ऑल्सो मॉरल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी
Mm-hmm.
जो हार्डली आपको किसी में देखने के लिए मिलेगी। मतलब हमने किताबें पढ़ी हैं, स्टोरीज पढ़ी हैं, जहाँ उसमें मॉरल क्या होते हैं, मॉरल वैल्यूज होते हैं, लेकिन वो
Mm-hmm.
हम आगे जाके कितना फॉलो करते हैं, आई डोंट नो। इफ आई गेट अ चांस, आई वांट टू ओपन एन स्कूल
Mm-hmm.
जहाँ पे बच्चों को बढ़िया मॉरल चीजें सिखाई जाए।
Mm-hmm.
आई डोंट नो वो कितना आगे फॉलो करते हैं, बट स्टिल दैट्स व्हाट आई थिंक।
So I think that there are two things, right? Or yeah, two things. Number one,
हम्म
that we just saw from your example that there is a difference between generational thinking, right?
हम्म
Our parents'
हम्म
thinking were different about things. Okay, I want to survive. Like selfish, not being selfish, but their experiences had been different than
अपॉर्चुनिस्ट।
us, right? Like
हम्म
it's all about my survival, my family survivals, right? I mean,
हम्म
okay, country comes later. I think ours
हम्म
would have been the first or second generation where we had a different opportunity to see things, right?
हम्म
To have a set of rules for the society, to have your own responsibility towards others, and vice versa. So that is a difference that I've also seen between the two generations and how their thinking differ. uh,
हम्म
and then second thing is uh, uh, the human service, not human, but uh, the lack in the education, the primary education, or secondary education when we are growing up, about uh, moral responsibilities or human services for that matter, right? I mean, our generation or generation before us, we were very focused on becoming engineers, doctors, MBAs, uh, and just get by, and find opportunities for ourselves. But I think that is somewhere we stopped thinking that these are again short-term goals, right? I mean, these these will help you personally, but is it going to help your country or your society for long term? Maybe not, right? Maybe it will change the way it will change the way we see the society, but at the same time we wouldn't know what to do, right, if we want to
हम्म
instill any change. What I'm trying to say is that, okay, engineering, mathematics, MBA is important, that's fine,
हम्म
but what about other things, right? What about your identity as a society, right? Where do you come from, where you are today, and where do you see yourself, right? That is where I think we missed an opportunity to educate people that, okay, this is what you were, this is what you are, and this is where you should be. And I think all three things should be same, right? Our goals should be the same as a society, right? As humans, as Indians rather. One
हम्म
short example, very short example, is that our thinking is too colonized, right? I mean, we stopped thinking where we came from, and we let others define ourselves. Okay, the West will define what an Indian is or what India is, and and growing up, we never thought that, okay, how do we define ourselves, right? How Indians perceive India. We didn't think about that much, and we should have done that differently, in my opinion. And and today I think that is where we are struggling with, right? The unrest in the society, the strife we are seeing, that we 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 struggle. Okay, who are we, who should we be, right? I mean, I should we be someone who had a long history of 5,000 years old, where all the original religions came from, and then today we we dress Western, we think we talk a language which is not ours, and then we feel good about that, and that's fine, nothing wrong. And then how should the next generation see us and their history? So I think that is where we should have been more cognizant that, okay, learn about yourself first, learn about your identity, then learn about engineering, mathematics, and MBS. That's my rant.
Yeah, but I
on it.
think it's in a way it's good. What's wrong in following West if they're doing something good? So try to follow which is good and leave which is not good. So rather than being a specific society type, we should be a progressive society type. कि ठीक है, दिस इज गुड फॉर द सोसाइटीज, तो हमें ये फॉलो करना चाहिए. उसमें आई डोंट नो, आई हैव डिफरेंट व्यूज ऑन दैट.
No, please share. That's why we are here. If you have time and if you have energy left, then go on about it. Yeah.
एनर्जी तो मतलब क्या है, अभी बोलने के लिए बोलता भी नहीं है, वैसे भी ऑफिस जाना नहीं है, लोगों से बात हो नहीं पाती.
Sure.
तो
you can vent. Yeah.
नहीं, सी फ्रॉम वेयर वी आर कमिंग, ठीक है, कुछ चीजें ऐसी है जो हमें करनी पड़ी है बिकॉज वी हैड टू सर्वाइव, बट या हम बहुत ज्यादा एडजस्टिंग है नेचर में हमेशा से. जो चीजें अच्छी हैं वो हमें फॉलो कर, इट डजेंट मैटर कि हम क्या पहन रहे हैं या किसे फॉलो कर रहे हैं. अगर कुछ अच्छा हम किसी से सीख रहे हैं तो मुझे लगता है कि वो फॉलो करना चाहिए. बट अगर आप कोई बुरी चीज को लेके आगे बढ़ना चाहते हो, सो देयर इज नो पॉइंट कीपिंग दैट हिस्ट्री एंड call that history that it's something that is there as part of us from these many years, and we are not going to change it because it's us. No, why should not we change it? If something is not right, just say I don't want to go into politics and all, but just say that day you guys were saying in your first episode that maybe you guys are not that happy with the education system you got or you were exposed to.
Yeah.
And maybe you want to go back to, or we should go back to Gurukul. But what was the setup of a Gurukul? If you can tell me, then maybe I'll take it forward. So what do you think? What were Gurukul doing, and that we should do now also, and we should get rid of this education system that we are in?
Okay, so just one step back. I personally think there is nothing wrong in being progressive, and that is what we have been, to be honest. Right? I mean, our culture is, it's all about discussion, right? It's all about questioning everything and then trying to find answers within. That was our inherent culture. And then somebody came in and told us, hey, you're stupid, your culture was not right, this is your culture, this is how you should think. Fine, we adjusted. Coming back to your question is, what is wrong with the education system? I think again it brings me back to the same point. We are too restricted. We have that blindfold on our eyes, that somebody told us, okay, you should only target these three things, nothing beyond it, right? And scoring good in English, mathematics, and science became our goal, became our lifelong goal, right? Who decided that? Like, why you should only focus on engineering, mathematics, science? Like there is life beyond that. And then people had been surviving, people had been evolving, people had been progressing without that. Why you restrict yourself to that? And what about if you're not good at engineering, science, and mathematics? Like, are you not good enough? That's not the fact, right? I mean, our school should nurture us, our education system should nurture us and nurture our talent, and harness what we can do, what we are good at, in making ourselves better, right? So if you're good at something else but not good at math, then our education system or the whole society told us, hey, you're not good enough, period. Right?
I'll say society accepted, but not just education system, because that's what our parents told us, that's what our neighbors told us, that's what our friends told us.
But our school should have taught us, right? System. It was school's responsibility to teach us, hey, that what society is saying is not right.
Why school? Why only school? The people who are in school are coming from society itself. How can you ask them to be a different person? How
Because we
can you
seek answers
expect
from
them to
them.
be a different person? The onus is on society. The
Hmm.
onus is not just on education system because those people are coming from that society only. So
So those
okay, I
society
understand.
people, that
Hmm.
society also went to the same school, right? So school must have taught something.
So since when these schools are there? देयर मस्ट बी कोई ना कोई तो ऐसी जनरेशन रही होगी ना जहाँ एक स्कूल से पहले की होगी और एक स्कूल से बाद की होगी. तो जो स्कूल से पहले की थी
Hmm.
उन्होंने क्यों नहीं सिखाया उनको जो स्कूल स्कूल के बाद की थी या स्कूल के थी. दे
Sure.
कुड हैव you know shared that knowledge,
Hmm.
but that didn't
Hmm.
come along. So
Hmm.
I don't know, it was
I
बहुत
mean,
पहले था. But then
I
if you
agree
talk
that
about these,
there
yeah,
was a broken link between, where did we go wrong, right?
right. And I mean, I feel from the school that we are coming from or the kind of board, हमारे पास तो सब कुछ exposure था.
Hmm.
I mean, ठीक है, आपको किसी ने ये नहीं बोला कि नहीं तुम डांस में अच्छे हो तो you can have that as your profession.
Hmm.
Again, we were not aware, and that time these things were
I
not
mean, yeah,
looked
I
up
mean,
as
circumstances. Yeah.
career options. ठीक है,
Hmm.
and we had to survive. We have to earn for ourselves.
Hmm.
So क्या बोल रहे थे ना, जस्ट मिस दैट
School, yeah.
कि मैं बोले क्या बोला. हाँ, राइट. तो हमारे स्कूल में तो सारे ऑप्शंस थे कि
Hmm.
इफ यू वांटेड टू डांस यू कुड डांस, इफ यू वांटेड टू डू यू वर गुड ओरेटर यू कुड हैव डन दैट. और मींस तुम्हें एक्सप्लोर करने का मौका स्कूल ने दिया.
Hmm.
यू गॉट द चांस टू एक्सप्लोर.
Hmm.
It's just you didn't get the chance to groom yourself or
Accountability, right?
see it, yeah,
Yeah,
see
you
it in
should
a
have been
different way
accountable.
as career option.
Yeah.
So then school
So
didn't give you that options to explore your
hold
talents.
that thought. I think my
Hmm.
son is waking up. Let me come back. Okay, give me
हाँ,
one
yeah,
second.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop, कोई बात नहीं.
Okay, it's on. So yeah,
Hmm.
accountability. That your
Hmm.
school provided you the opportunity, but what about you, right? What did you do? That's what you're saying, right?
Exactly. हाँ, और
Yeah.
हमारे पेरेंट्स का प्रेशर और पेरेंट्स के ऊपर सोसाइटी का प्रेशर.
Mm-hmm.
So there are multiple things, not just a system. I think that we can blame. अभी भी मैं देखती हूँ पेरेंट्स को, they are उनको अब कैसा है, अब when you say कि हमें एक्सप्लोर करने का ऑप्शन नहीं मिला या हमें अपना टैलेंट कुछ और
Mm-hmm.
करने का ऑप्शन नहीं मिला या किसी ने हमें बताया नहीं कि तुम ये भी कर सकते हो. If you'll see now, पेरेंट्स इतने ज्यादा व्हाट शुड आई से इतने ज्यादा ऑब्सेस्ड हो गए हैं इस थिंकिंग को लेके कि
Uh-huh.
अब वो अपने 2 साल के बच्चे 3 साल के बच्चे को अभी से कोडिंग सिखाना चाहते हैं. ठीक है, आई हैव
Yeah.
सीन पोस्ट इन फेसबुक वेयर एन वन पर्सन वाज आस्किंग on this, I think कोई IIT organize कर रहा है बच्चों के लिए कोडिंग या some institute, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She was asking, my son is going to be 4 year old this month and can he join this coding classes. That is just one example.
I think
But
6 is too
बच्चों
old. He
को,
should have done that at 2.
या और मतलब डांस हो या म्यूजिक हो या डिफरेंट तरह की क्लासेस हो, स्पोर्ट्स हो, अब जो पेरेंट्स है ना वो दूसरी चीजों को लेके ऑब्सेस्ड हो गए हैं. अब उनको बच्चों को पढ़ाई तो करानी ही है, वो तो रहेगी, बट बाकी चीजों में भी बच्चे को ग्रूम करना है, आगे बढ़ाना है. मतलब आई नो, मे बी वो बच्चे को कभी शायद चांस ही ना मिले ये सोचने का कि मेरी क्या पसंद थी, या वो अभी 10 चीजें कर रहा है और 20 साल बाद वो बोले यार ये तो मेरी पसंद ही नहीं थी.
So we are not learning from our mistakes, right?
हाँ, अब अलग तरह का ऑब्सेशन है.
Yeah.
सो बच्चे को हमेशा मतलब आई थिंक यू शुड गिव अपॉर्चुनिटी टू चाइल्ड टू डिसाइड कि उसे क्या करना है. यू जस्ट गिव देम
Exposure to
what do
everything,
you
but
know,
you should not.
maybe not exposure, you should just tell them or you should just see कि वो किस चीज में अच्छे हैं and then maybe उस चीज में करो rather than getting them involved in 100 things.
Right. For sure.
Maybe
Yeah, I
I'm
mean
not a parent yet, but
that's
that's
point taken.
yeah.
Point taken for sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, even if you were given opportunities, what did you do, right? Nobody stopped you. I don't think if we were good at something and if we tried to do that, nobody was like punishing us for that, right? But
एंड लोगों ने
we
किया है ना.
came, yeah, for
हमसे
sure.
पहले वाली जनरेशन है, किशोर कुमार खंडवा से आता है, या मे बी चलो बड़ी जगह, छोटी छोटी जगह से लोग निकल के थे, धोनी निकल के आया. तो
Yeah, for
एक्सेप्शंस
sure.
हैं.
Yeah, point taken. Yeah, point taken. Nothing wrong in that. But uh, I mean, again, it's your own personal experience, right? And everyone has different experience. So yeah, both points taken in my opinion. That's a good discussion to have for sure. Uh,
Good.
yeah. So I think uh, from my point of view, we should still try to find our own history, but again, that is again who to tell us the what our history was, right? I mean, somebody else told us.
Exactly. And I have this मतलब ये मेरा फंडा है, ये सब पे
Mhm,
अप्लाई भी नहीं होता. मे बी यू विल ऑल्सो नॉट थिंक अबाउट इट इन दैट वे.
mhm,
बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो भी लोगों ने लिखा है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल बहुत कोई बड़ा राइटर है, या व्हाट शुड आई से, मतलब
intellectual intellectuals.
इंटेलेक्चुअल, या आई
Mhm,
वाज नॉट
mhm,
गेटिंग दैट वर्ड, थैंक यू.
mhm,
तो उसने कुछ लिखा है, बट उसने अपनी सोच के हिसाब से लिखा है, अपने परसेप्शंस के हिसाब से लिखा है, उसने जो देखा उसके हिसाब से लिखा है.
sure.
maybe the other person can have a different perception.
Mhm,
उस आपने एक चीज के बारे में पढ़ा है, बट उसका एक ही साइड पढ़ा है.
mhm,
You cannot judge things based on what other person has written या
mhm,
what other person is saying. For
mhm,
example, अभी मीडिया में चार लोग एक जैसी बातें करते हैं, चार अलग बातें करते हैं, चार कुछ और करते हैं.
mhm,
Just because you are following a mindset or a mentality, you cannot say कि नहीं ये चार लोग ही सही बातें कर रहे हैं, बाकी जो चार लोग हैं वो गलत बातें कर रहे हैं.
mhm, mhm, sure.
Now your judgment comes into play.
Mhm,
कि ये भी सही हो सकता है, वो भी हो सकता है. तो आपको उसके बारे में सोचना है कि आपके आसपास क्या चल रहा है, आप क्या मतलब सोच रहे हो, और आप क्या देख रहे हो, उसके हिसाब से जज करो कि आपको क्या ठीक लगता है. नॉट जस्ट बिकॉज समवन एल्स इज सेइंग. और जैसे हिस्ट्री भी है, तो हिस्ट्री में कोई बड़ा आदमी है तो उसके फॉर में भी लिखा है, अगेंस्ट में भी लिखा है,
mhm,
लोगों ने अपने अलग अलग व्यूज लिखे हैं. आप किसका मानोगे?
mm,
बेटर है
for
आप
sure.
खुद जज करो. या
Mm,
तो आप सब चीजें पढ़ो, मतलब एक
mhm,
इंसान के बारे में 100 लोगों ने जो 100 चीजें लिखी हैं वो सब पढ़ो, तब अपना माइंड मेकअप करो.
mhm,
अदरवाइज ये
mhm,
मत बोलो कि हमने ये पढ़ा है और इसके हिसाब से यही सही है.
mm. True.
सो आई मीन दिस इज व्हाट आई
Yeah.
थिंक. एक मूवी देख रही थी, मुझे वो मूवी याद नहीं है. उसमें वो लड़की मतलब एक स्कूल होता है, आई डोंट नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ स्कूल, हॉलीवुड मूवी थी. तो उसमें वो टेक्स्ट बुक्स नहीं रखते हैं वहां पे,
Mhm,
क्योंकि वो बोलते हैं कि हम सिर्फ एक ऑथर की बुक क्यों रेफर करें,
mhm.
और हम
Yeah.
सिर्फ एक जने ने जो लिखा है उससे ही हम उसको ही हम सच क्यों माने. यू
Mm,
शुड रेफर टू अदर पीपल ऑल्सो. 5 लोगों
yeah.
को पढ़ो, उसके
Mhm.
बाद डिसाइड करो, या उसके हिसाब से अपनी आप ये क्या नॉलेज गेन कर पा रहे हो वो करो.
Right.
तो मुझे मूवी तक याद नहीं है, बट आई लाइक दिस. एक
Concept.
सीन था, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा
Yeah.
कॉन्सेप्ट. या
Mm, mm. Interesting. And I think that's why I don't like to read opinionated book. I I would rather read fiction than
या
somebody else's truth.
एग्जैक्टली,
Yeah,
दैट सेम
because
गोज विथ मी.
then they're trying to impose their ideology, their way of thinking on you, which may not be right, or which may not be right for you. So so yeah, for completely understand. Uh, so do you read books, or how do you?
I read, but mostly fiction.
Mm-hmm,
Or even if I read some books जो fiction नहीं हो, I don't
mm-hmm,
make my mind based on that.
mm,
I try not to. I
mm-hmm,
cannot be 100% sure, क्योंकि आप कुछ पढ़ रहे हो तो it may have some impact, not conscious, subconscious,
mm-hmm,
but I mostly read fiction because you know it's fiction.
mm-hmm.
You should not read fiction uh,
And
considering
then
its reality.
yeah, and then surround
Yeah,
yourself with that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think I also have similar opinions and similar experiences because uh, yeah, I mean there is a saying, right? It goes like if lions were able to write their history, then we would see who was the brave one, lion or the
Hmm.
hunter, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So you only know the hunter's perspective where he hunted down the lion, but we don't know lion's perspective
Exactly.
where. So yeah, I mean for
Right.
sure, there's only one perspective, and I wish I hope we learn from that and we get an opportunity to. I think there'll be. I mean, the society has evolved and the technology and all that. I think we'll be able to document our own history as is the facts, not somebody else's view on history. So I think that should
Hmm.
change for coming generations, and life for them will be definitely different than what life was for us or is for us. So I think that will change.
Hmm.
That's
And
good.
why do you also? I mean, why do you have to refer to history if it's not making a change in your life? It's as simple as that for me. Uh,
Hmm.
I would not want to, you know,
Live in the
I'm not
past.
talking about, yeah, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about maybe science and all because that has impact on my life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Past या जब भी रहो, even मुझे लगता है कि okay, let me not say that. I'll say that offline. So,
No, no, no. You
um,
can you can say anything you want.
no, no, no. I can say, but I'll tell you later. तो जो चीजें आपको इम्पैक्ट ही नहीं कर रही हैं उन चीजों के लिए लड़के उन चीजों के लिए डिस्कशन करके एनर्जी वेस्ट करके there's no मतलब
Mm.
क्यों फालतू में वो करना इससे अच्छा कंस्ट्रक्टिव चीजों पे ध्यान दो जो जो आप चेंज कर सकते हो जो आपको चेंज करना चाहिए
Mm-hmm.
and make your own history maybe it's not documented but it's good for everybody.
Mm. I I I see what you're trying to say, but I have slightly different opinion on that. I think our history will define our identity, and our identity will define how the society is today and how is it going to be in for next generations, right? I mean, history is important in my opinion, so it is
What kind
important
of
for us.
history? No, what kind of history? Like who fought whom?
No,
That kind of history?
no.
Or
I mean, for sure that is that is the reality. That is the fact that did happen.
mm-hmm,
So you should
mm-hmm.
know what exactly happened, why did that happen, and what was the outcome of it on us, right? We need to know. We need to know the facts. We need to know the truth.
but
Truth
but
can be
you are
subjective, but
you are
facts are
saying the
facts.
same thing. You're saying the same thing because
Hmm.
that has impact on you, or maybe that may have impact on how you think or how you have to make your decisions. Maybe
I'll
not your
tell you one.
personal
I'll
decisions.
tell you one example. So
Mm-hmm.
in again, this is my opinion. I cannot support this based on a fact or something, but I think ours will be the first generation which will not be charmed by the West that much. So again, I'll say this again. Ours will be the first generation which is not, fascinated with the West that much because we have been exposed to West. But generations before us, they look forward to what West was thinking about us, what others were thinking about us. Okay, how they were telling us how we should live our lives. Why? I mean, because they didn't have exposure for sure, but at the same time their experiences, their history or the impact of the history on them was so that they always think that okay, if someone from the West is saying this about us, then he must be right. We would not question that. But I think ours is the generation kind of first in line where we are finding courage to okay, question the West. Okay, why should your opinion matter? Tell me. Because you're white, or because you come from a richer country, or a wealthier country? Yeah, no. I will define what I am, or who I am, or what my society is, and then we will think whether to explore your opinion about us. So that is what we are finding, that hey, we are not stupid. Our parents were not stupid, and their ancestors were not stupid, but their experiences were different than ours, and then our generation future generations will have a different experience then. than ours, obviously. So that is
Yeah,
where I'm
maybe.
coming from. That if 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 you know what your history was, and if you derive from that, or if you learn from that, then the impact will be different on us, and coming on society in general. So that is where I differ from your opinion there.
No, of course, if you're learning from it, that's good. But if you're just fighting over it for the sake of it, I
Hmm.
don't care.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, there's no point in fighting. I mean, I don't believe in violence or any kind of, even
No, not.
violence in thoughts, but but yeah, I mean, for sure, I should at least given I should be given an opportunity to find my history, right, and our history. So yeah. Mm.
Yeah, but then I don't know what kind of history and what history
Okay,
becomes
let me be specific.
after a point of time, because my personal opinion is Ramayana and Mahabharata are history plus fiction plus science. That's what I feel.
Hmm.
But everybody knows it's not considered that way. That's my
Hmm.
personal opinion.
Hmm.
So what history becomes after a point of time,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like if you cannot
I mean,
put it
okay,
that way.
let me tell you this. Uh, my children, or my child, right?
Hmm.
If I tell him that your parents and then your parents' parents, uh, they were all poor, uh, they were stupid, uh, they didn't know how to think for themselves. They just did what others told them to do. What do you think the impact of all that teachings will be on him? He will
But
he will he will grow up feeling inferior, right, to others. Don't you think so?
yeah, but frankly, from my personal experience, I have never heard that uh, we were told to do something and that's why we are doing something.
You were never told to do anything. You're only told about your not the ancestors, but about, again, going back to your history. So you were provided that information in such a subtle manner and subtle way that unknowingly it had an impact on your subconscious mind, rather. That is my point.
Mm.
That if I tell somebody that, hey, you're worth nothing, but in such a subtle way that I'm not saying it straightforward, then definitely it will have a negative impact on your thinking. And I think that is what happened to us.
Yeah,
We should learn from
if we
it. Yeah.
think it from that way, but maybe I've never thought it from that way, because I never thought that we are doing something because we were told to do so. I feel we are doing something which we or our ancestors thought is good for us, and that's my understanding.
Mm.
I can be wrong
No, I
because
mean,
I
it's
don't
not
have
about
knowledge.
wrong. No, it's not about knowledge. I mean, where does knowledge come from, right? You just take your own learnings and then judge yourself. Where do you lie? So that's knowledge.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, that defines you, right? So that is my whole point, that it our history is very important. It does have impact on us and our thinking, and then we should do everything in our hand to make it right if we had been wrong. So, well, that's my opinion.
No, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we are doing, is what I feel. But
Mm.
yeah,
For good or bad, I don't know. Future will tell us, but that is what I think.
no, because if you see from where, I mean, the women have.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll sound feminist,
No,
but
definitely, I want you to do
we
that.
have,
I want you to speak your mind.
yeah, because we have come so far. मतलब history में maybe not उतने importance भी नहीं थी, या थे important characters थे, but not compared to what what role men had played, and what women had to go through is very we have come a long way. So it's been a good journey for women, I will say. एक इसका राजस्थान का कोई किला गए थे हम लोग, तो वहां पे वो हमें पैलेस था, आई थिंक पैलेस था, जहाँ पे वो चक्की वक्की सब रखा हुआ था. तो वो जो गाइड था वो बोलता है कि पहले औरतों को जिम जाने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी, पे करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती थी, क्योंकि वो ये सब एक्सरसाइज करती थी. तो मतलब see, I mean, what I mean to say is कि आपने वो कर दिया विमेन के लिए कि हाँ वो प्रोग्रेस कर ली है उन्होंने, या वो ये सारी चीजें नहीं करते हैं जो वो पहले करते थे, तो अब दे हैड टू गो टू जिम एंड ऑल, इससे अच्छा तो घर का ही काम कर लेते, काइंड ऑफ सॉर्ट ऑफ व्हाट ही मेंट टू से. तो ऐसा कुछ उन्होंने आदमियों के लिए कोई ऐसे एग्जाम्पल नहीं दिया मेन के लिए. तो दे हैव दिस, मैं ये बोलूंगी कि फॉर विमेन दीज मे बी वी हैव कॉपीड वेस्ट और व्हाटएवर, बट वी हैव कम अ लॉन्ग वे एंड इट्स बीन अ गुड जर्नी फॉर विमेन. हमने प्रोग्रेस किया है.
Okay, point taken again. Yes, women have been wronged in past, and justice has not been served for sure. Completely agree. But at the same time, you should see that in India, women have been prime ministers, or women has been had been prime minister in leadership roles. They have fought for the country. They have given their lives for the country. They have been Maharanis. There have been saviors of the civilization, for that matter. Let me give you the example of the United States, most progressive country. In past 300 and some years, not even one single female leader.
I know.
What does that tell you about your history
UK,
versus West, right?
No,
you just made a point that West,
that's what I'm
adapting
saying,
Western ideology has been good for women, but my point is that women were in the leadership roles in our country. We knew that before West told us that, hey, women are important, women are in some matters better than men, and we knew that. Nobody has to tell us that, hey, this is how you should treat women. We knew before you knew that, right?
But
that
then
is my point.
You just said that we were copying West.
Yeah, I mean, that is
then
what.
Why didn't we copy West? So
that is what we have been told, that hey, West will tell us, okay, women should be progressive, but nobody told us that, hey, women were important in our lives before West came into existence. That is my point, right? We knew before them, but we chose to forget. I don't know why. That I don't know.
Yeah. So you, I mean, for prime ministers and presidents, okay, still I take it compared to US. Even in the UK, it was very late when what's her
Margaret
name?
Thatcher.
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher. She became the prime minister. But उससे पहले इंडिया में बन चुके थे. But that is very few examples. बहुत कम एग्जाम्पल्स है. इंदिरा गांधी के अलावा और कौन बना? और I don't know.
I mean, our history is only like 60-70 years old, so.
हाँ, तो अगर हम एक बेसिक लेवल पे देखें, हमारे लेवल पे देखें,
before freedom, I mean, लक्ष्मी बाई.
हाँ, तो इंदिरा गांधी को छोड़कर और लक्ष्मी ठीक है ना, मैं वही बोल रही हूँ कि दो चार हैं जिनको आप काउंट कर सकते हो. और वो इसीलिए उनका नाम भी आगे आता है क्योंकि वो दो चार ही हैं. इतने सारों का नाम याद नहीं रख सकते अगर होते तो.
Yeah, but my point is not that whatever we did was right or everything was not wrong, but my point is that nobody else has to tell us. We knew it before anybody has to tell us. That's my point, that if we reflect back upon our own history and learn from it, we are far more progressive than any other society in the world, in my opinion. Because tell me which other culture provokes you to have a discussion with your own so-called gods, right? I mean, just take an example of Gita, right? I mean, I
Hmm.
I've tried to understand it, but not very thorough, or not very. I would not consider myself an expert in all of that, but I mean, it's all a discussion between two individuals, right? One is greater than the other, but the God is allowing others to question himself, right? I mean, if I tell you to do this, you should question, why should I do this? Isn't it
There's
progressive?
there's where the difference come between what I think and what you think.
Hmm.
I don't think that that discussion was between God and a normal person.
Hmm.
I feel that was a person
Hmm.
जो जिनका IQ बहुत ज्यादा था, या
Hmm.
they were they were so good that over the time we made them God, or we believe they are God.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll give you an example.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah, have you ever been to Akshardham?
Ahmedabad, or
Ahmedabad, Delhi, anywhere, or maybe
I've
you
been to
do you know
Ahmedabad. I've
वो
been to Ahmedabad.
मंदिर है,
Yeah, yeah.
मंदिर है, ठीक है.
Hmm.
तो तुम्हें पता है वहाँ किसकी पूजा होती है?
Uh, I don't remember. It's been a long time.
स्वामी नारायण.
Okay.
ठीक है, स्वामी नारायण की पूजा होती है, मंदिर है.
Hmm.
Maybe if you want to cut it down, just cut it from this video. I don't know.
No, no, no.
Aajkal it's very difficult. No, not for you, for my sake.
Hmm.
So um, that was a person.
Hmm.
ठीक है. अब वो हिस्ट्री इतनी भी ज्यादा पुरानी नहीं है, इसलिए वहां पे वो हिस्ट्री मेंशन्ड है. वहां पे लिखा है कि that was a person who used to do this. वो इतने ब्रिलियंट थे कि ओवर द टाइम लोगों को लगा कि वो मे बी उनको लगा भगवान है, या जो भी है.
A greater
he
being.
was
Yeah.
that good. उनका IQ एक्सेप्शनल था, सब बहुत एक्सेप्शनल था. मतलब 10 साल की उम्र में उन्होंने क्या क्या बुक्स नहीं पढ़ ली थी, एंड ऑल दैट काइंड ऑफ स्टफ. नाउ टुडे आल्सो वी नो that person was a human being. नाउ अगर हम जाते 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 फ्यूचर में आगे जाके we don't tell people कि he was a human being,
Sure.
what will come to?
Yeah. Point taken again. Yeah,
So
for sure. I mean,
so
it's
I
somebody's. Yeah.
so if
Yeah,
you're
I
referring
see
to
what you're
Gita,
saying.
I will say that is history. That is such a tremendous, such a great Indian history, जिसको हमने हिस्ट्री से मॉडिफाई करके कुछ और कर दिया है. ठीक है. आई बिलीव इन गॉड. मैं भगवान को मानती हूँ, तो ऐसा नहीं कि मैं भगवान को नहीं मानती, बट आई हैव अ डिफरेंट थिंकिंग. मेरी अलग सोच है.
Yeah.
और इसमें जो बहुत सारी चीजें मेंशन है कि ऐसी लड़ाई हुई होगी, या ये हुआ होगा, या ऐसे अस्त्र शस्त्र चले होंगे, विच इज ऑल्सो पॉसिबल, क्योंकि साइंस तब बहुत अच्छी रही होगी. आज भी हम न्यूक्लियर बॉम्ब बना दिए, हमने ये बना दिया, वो बना दिया, स्पेस पे चले गए. तो साइंस तो आज भी है, तो हो सकता है तब भी साइंस इतनी ज्यादा डेवलप्ड हो, बट नाउ वी कंसिडर इट इन अनदर वे.
Yeah, understood. But my point was that we knew the importance of discussion, right? Let it be between two individuals, but we always knew that there is important of seeking answers or questioning something, right? Nobody told us, okay, you should think black is black, white is white, and don't ask. But but our culture allowed us to ask question, okay, why black is black? Because nothing comes out of it, everything gets absorbed. Why white is white? Because everything reflects back. So we knew that the society or the world will evolve, right? That is my point. So
but that's what it's very, I feel very bad that nowadays people don't think it in that way. वो डिस्कशन करना ही नहीं चाहते, वो बात करना ही नहीं चाहते. जो सोच रहे हैं, जो कोई और कुछ बोल रहा है, उसको सच मान रहे हैं. I don't know.
Yeah.
So what is the history? Is we are not using it in the right way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Okay.
So, are you tired
nice
yet?
discussion.
Huh?
नो नहीं मैं तो नहीं हूँ पर
Yeah.
तो अभी तुम्हारे काम नहीं स्टार्ट हुए क्या मतलब तो तुम्हारा बेटा 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 जग गया बेटा
Oh, that's fine.
सॉरी
Beta beta jag gaya hai na. Yeah. He's also an early riser. Not good for us, but I've always been an early riser. Like बीच में थोड़ी आदत खराब हो गई थी, but from since childhood I wake up at
गुड
5
यार
and 6 and yeah.
मैं तो कॉलेज कॉलेज डेज में तो कोई वो भी नहीं था प्रॉब्लम भी नहीं थी
Mm-hmm.
एज इन हॉस्टल में रहते थे
Mm-hmm.
तभी भी मैं अपना रात को जल्दी सो जाती थी सुबह जल्दी उठती थी पर तुम
Yeah.
तो सोते भी बहुत लेट हो पर
Nahin, I sleep at 9,
नहीं
9:30. Yeah.
अच्छा
Well,
फिर ठीक है
yeah. Lately, like because of all what's been going on, it has changed.
हम्म
But yeah. I mean, I recently I've adopted that I'll wake up at 4 no matter what, and
हम्म
Brahma Kal bolte hain na jisko. So,
हम्म
and to be honest, it's such a great thing, such a good thing to
हम्म
do. I'm so happy that I'm doing this. To be honest,
हम्म
because the way your brain works at 4 o'clock in the morning, it will not work throughout the day, any other
राइट
hour. It's our
राइट
our parents were our dadajis and dadis were they were right. Like
दे वर
Brahmakal ka
राइट
Muhurat is the best, and
they were
it's such
right
an
about
amazing
many
feeling.
things सिर्फ हम
Yeah,
लोगों ने उन चीजों को एज कस्टम फॉलो किया और उनके पीछे की जो जो लॉजिक था
thought.
ना वो हमने कभी पूछा भी नहीं और हमने कभी ध्यान भी नहीं दिया
Mm,
तो अगर हम सिर्फ उतना भी समझते हुए चलते ना तो वी वुड हैव नोन कि एवरीथिंग दैट वाज मेड दैट वाज टोल्ड टू अस हैड सम लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट
mhm,
ऐसे ही नहीं हवा में बातें करते थे कि ये मत करो इस टाइम मत करो ऐसा मत करो मे
mhm,
बी दे आर नॉट रेलिवेंट इन नाउ डेज अभी के
mhm.
टाइम में दे आर नॉट रेलिवेंट बट दे वर रेलिवेंट दैट टाइम
Yeah, sure. And I'm glad I'm doing that. And
हम्म
the amount of work I get done between 4 and till 8 a.m. in the morning, it's tremendous. And then my efficiency doubles, right? Not doubles, I cannot
हम्म
quantify it, but the efficiency improves of doing things. Like
हम्म
thinking, your brain works better, and you can retain more things. You can remember things. It's amazing, and I don't know why people do the other way around, but it's amazing.
या
Yeah, the
इवन आई
fresh air
डोंट
you
नो
breathe.
दिस नॉक्टर्नल पीपल या
I don't know how do they survive. Yeah,
सीरियसली
yeah. So it's it's nice. I just want to uh, yeah, it feel better, feel good every day, and just be grateful to things. And I think
हम्म
I need the next thing I want to learn is to be grateful for everything. Don't crib about anything. Just that I
नो
haven't
यार
done.
क्रिप भी करना चाहिए ऐसा नहीं है मैं तो रोज क्रिप करती
Yeah,
हूँ
but at the same time, just compensate with your happiness and all that, right? With
या
being grateful.
हम्म
I've not been
हम्म
grateful lately, and I've always uh, interesting. One interesting thing I learned recently is that whenever a thought comes in the mind, or whenever you want to do anything, my brain is trained in such a way that I will I will imagine all the negative things or all the things that can possibly go wrong before the first positive thought comes in the mind, right? For example,
हम्म
let's take example of this conversation, right? I mean, the first thing came to my mind, okay, kya karna hai? Like what's the point? Nobody will see it, nobody cares. These are all negative things, right? And it took a lot of efforts, a lot of time for the first positive thought, okay, it will be fun. I enjoy it.
हम्म
That
हम्म
came very later, right? So I want to train my
हम्म
brains to think positive first and then negative, and then instead of
हम्म
saying no first, try to say yes and then do things. So that's and then I think we can learn all of these good things with our friends and from our friends and people, our acquaintance. And then why not? I mean, if you get one wisdom or one good thought just by chatting with someone for 1 hour, then it's worth it, in my opinion, right? Previous
हाँ
previous episode, previous conversation with Dr. Vyas, it was amazing. He
हम्म
one great thing he told me was uh, भूतकाल को भूलो, भूतकाल, don't get stuck in the past. But one important catch was that whether your history was or whether your past was good or bad, forget both. But we always try, okay, let's forget the bad one, try to remember the good one. But that was interesting when he said that जो भी है भूल जाओ, otherwise you will never move forward. So that's a good thing I learned, because I only thought that okay, जो भी गलत हुआ भूल जाओ, अच्छा याद रखो. But that's not possible, right? You will remember both, because both are attached, both are happening at the same time. So remember, forget everything and then move forward. That's how that what brings happiness to most people. Yeah.
If you can, that's a very difficult thing. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
if
know it's
you
very
can,
difficult.
then
Not
good.
not
Yeah,
everyone can do that, but I mean, just
yeah,
knowing, just knowing that hey, you should do both. It's a great thing, right? And with 1 hour of conversation with him, I learned one thing, and I remember that thing. That's enough for me. So I think
hmm,
I hope I get an opportunity to speak with more and more people who have great things to teach us and who can reflect upon their own experience and share their thoughts. And if even if one person learns from it, then that's enough. And
yeah.
I'm happy. So why not?
Even if nobody is bothered to learn, or but at least it's good to share what you think, or what you feel.
Hmm.
It may be different from what the other person thinks and feels. So
Hmm. Hmm.
it feels good now. I mean, if I would think a different thing and you think a different thing, then
Hmm.
I'm glad that I'm knowing your part, perception, because
Hmm.
otherwise I wouldn't have known it.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's different perspective brings refreshing thoughts to mind. Right. So
Hmm.
that's great.
At least you get a point to think about it in two ways. A point, any point.
For sure. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
great.
All right.
बहुत मजा
Yeah.
आया. Yeah.
Same here. Thank you for your time. Thanks for doing this, and I really appreciate it.
अरे, you don't have to thank me. It was good. I mean, we all should do it.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
हाँ, but
Yeah.
please एक question है अमित व्यास से तुम जरूर रखो ना.
I would, yeah. I mean, if he's down, then for sure, I'm planning to do more. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. All right.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll
Bye
stop the
bye.
recording. Wait.
Hmm.